Namaste. Hello everyone. Today we're going to look at the differences between a full frame camera and a 4/3. We'll actually try to understand the concept of crop multiple today. So first I want to explain why a micro 4/3 sensor is called a micro 4/3. So let's keep the micro aside. Let's look at the 4/3. So the image that is found which comes through the sensor is always a circle. There are multiple ways that you can maximize the area of the image that has to be captured, right? So typically DSLRs and APS-C sensors are all 3:2 format, whereas a micro 4/3 sensor is 4:3 format. So basically 4:3 is almost a square when you actually compare it to a 3:2, and a 3:2 is roughly like that. It's just a decision that the company takes in order to maximize the. So that's the reason why it's called a 4/3 system, right? Okay, so let's assume that this is the scenery, right? A full frame with a 50 mm lens. Let's compose it in such a way that we can frame this entire scene. If this is a full frame sensor, this is a micro 4/3. The 4/3, since the sensor is smaller, it can only capture this much, right? It can't capture the rest of the image. So if you need to capture the remaining, you need to increase the field of view. How do you increase the field of view? You go for a wider lens. So we choose a 25 mm lens. So immediately you would see that there is a reduction of 2 times, or there is a multiple of 2x that you need to apply to get the same field of view that you would get on a full frame. That is why there is a crop multiple. So assume that you want to do some wildlife photography and you want like a 800 mm lens or a 600 mm lens to shoot, get really close to the subject. On a DSLR, imagine carrying a 600 mm lens. Even a 400 mm lens is massive. 800 mm lens is like ridiculous. You might have seen those bazooka kind of things, right? Or for a DSLR, those are the lenses available. On a micro 4/3 system, if you want to get an 800 mm focal length, you just need to get a 400 mm lens because the crop multiple is 2x. And there are so many lenses out there which are in this range, this focal length. And the size is small, it's doesn't make as much noise. Agreed that they're not weatherproof and things like that. You are getting weatherproof lenses now. Olympus has always made amazing lenses. They call it the Zuiko lenses, which have been there from ages. These lenses are beautiful. There is zero barrel distortion. They're crystal clear, really crisp images, very light. Even the chromatic aberrations is like literally zero. You won't believe it. Even if you shoot with a wide angle lens from an Olympus, the verticals would be straight. It doesn't, you don't have that barrel distortion that you typically get on wide angle lenses on a DSLR. Having said that, that crop multiple really helps, especially in wildlife photography. For personal use, I would just blindly say buy a mirrorless camera. To take it further, I would just blindly recommend any of the micro 4/3 cameras out there. Olympus does a fabulous job. Panasonic has a great set of cameras, right? A micro 4/3 completely relies, all of its functionality relies on the battery, right? So that's why the battery backup is not great. Like for example, on a full charged battery on a mirrorless, I can probably shoot around 300 pictures or 350 photos, all raw. And since the screen is always on and the sensor has to keep continuously rendering the image, it draws a lot of power. A DSLR generally uses very little power. So that's the only advantage that I can think of, the reason why I would use a DSLR. Alright, hope this video helps. Thank you for watching it. See you soon again.